Hey guys, this is 100 here, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. So last time we had to go exercise, and we ran into Emmy, who is the nurse's like spy and whatnot. And we also had like a moment with I can't remember her name, the red-haired chick, the chick without the arms. Yeah, we had like a moment with her because of the painting, and she's actually pretty cool. So yeah, I think her name's Rand, maybe. Anyway, let's get started. That is time I'll never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. Right now, I have to the class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue. Oh yeah, I forgot last time we also stopped in the bathroom by Kenji, and they were naked. And Kenji was like babbling. I remember that now. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I woke up for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Right on my forehead, I realized there is this good reason I need to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside the hallway. Lily's top figure appears in the doorway. She's not in her class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire. She can't come in unless invited. I considered doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps down on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt collar as if it was well-worn to look prim when entering our classroom. Excuse me. She called into the classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realized the silence must unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Hello? Good morning. I didn't hear you come in. I wonder if she thinks this is suspicious. I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. But I was already here, just up until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bells ring, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on the way here. On the way here. She shouldn't have got up so early today, I guess. You were chastening yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. Lily is actually very pretty, I have to say. Is that everyone? Like, she has this, like, I'm sorry to, like, sidetrack. She has, like, this elegant, type of feel about her, you know, very prompt, very professional, but, you know, someone you could talk to and confide in, but, I don't know, I get that feeling. Like, she's very proper and, like, more, like, sophisticated, which, I mean, you do see that. It's just, you know, she does put off that, air of atmosphere to me. It could be that everyone else is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today. Hi! It was quiet. Made pausing the classroom with SHIZUNE as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. Hi, Hikan! Hi! SHIZUNE. Look, it's the class representative. Hello! Lily smiled, probably amused by Misha's refusing to use the word look. Good morning. Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? Right? I'm not. Lily seems a little more guarded in her answer to SHIZUNE than she was with me the other day. I guess we really don't get along at all. I realize that Lily might actually not know SHIZUNE is president, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and SHIZUNE are practically inseparable, she might expect SHIZUNE being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're early, SHIZUNE. You were here even earlier than us. Misha puffs at her cheeks angrily. Gee, why is she being angry? She feel emotions on SHIZUNE's behalf too. It's not that weird though, that SHIZUNE doesn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to SHIZUNE, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing someone's to God's intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, SHIZUNE has already moved on. Class, to get things here, we have to talk. No. The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events, even the first years, except you. Ha. There's still time to hand it in there. Today, the deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd had all the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone has to say the deadline, please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this so is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect the whole class to work on such a complex issue completely. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class event, and handling the same matter for every class in the school and then some? The one who does that is me. Jeez, she's being mean. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can understand SHIZUNE's point, but I can understand Lily, and Lily's proper, and she doesn't seem like she's trying to she's not trying to start something, she just needed more time. Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, this is really getting to the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused though. Hey SHIZUNE, are you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, this house, it's alright. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit completely that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, and I'm disappointed if you think I have forgotten about it, I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? SHIZUNE, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked students to take care of it for me. Students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about SHIZUNE and Misha's efforts to rope her into the student council. She knows about SHIZUNE and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gone around, so now she's using me as ammo against SHIZUNE. This just gets better and better. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. The kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. Stop being this way, jeez. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so that they cannot come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize for them for being sick. Getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, SHIZUNE doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping. Yeah, Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Lily, don't they live here at school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have to prevent them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but SHIZUNE closes the gap between them and starts singing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but she can't seem to lose her normal sharp tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with that attitude? I said that it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative, or are you? Tell me the names of these two students. They should have job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself. Oh my god, she's an A. One form isn't the full extent of what I am supposed to take care of. Stone is growing slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting SHIZUNE see how unsettling she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. SHIZUNE, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is. Of course, you do so much, Classrap. It must be difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips and wishes words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of sarcasm, which they were meant to have. SHIZUNE and Lily don't like each other, which is clear. This seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Oh, this is... Oh... I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished your student council duties so quickly. You can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Oh my god, this is like getting like all on war right now, guys. Woo! Are you accusing me of fucking off? It's like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. It'd be very difficult for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right, the difference between us is like heaven and hell. Whoa. It's not hard to guess which one you might represent. The ripples with the heat of their energy. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Ichi-chan, don't you slack off either. What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival he's on? You are, aren't you? Then, I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why she's in this level getting at me. So, I'm gonna... Yeah, I already know what I'm doing. Hey, come on, cut me and lose some slack. I'm doing it, because they're being so mean to Lily. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted. That's right, you shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right on into it on his first week. Lily taking myself feels all the way comforting, so I decided to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. Excuses. Miss Classrap also has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help the student council work. You refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't want to talk for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with SHIZUNE, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I'll turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. So tell Hanako you're looking for her. I can tell she's like, maybe this is the first time she's ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Miss Howell. We'll leave now then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've ever seen, and turns on her walls to make her exit. Yes! So I don't know if this game is like a, yeah, okay, I'm saving because I'm not in it. I don't care to choose the other one. I like where I defended Lily. I don't know if this game has like any like special content, but we're like a relationship type thing. You know what I'm going with. But I really want to go like with Lily because Lily just seems so cool. She gives me the yeah, okay, I already read that. Sorry. So as soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to SHIZUNE. I can feel her eyes burning into my back. I can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to elevate the tension, but it really is one thing too much. And I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of SHIZUNE's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hanako doesn't come to the more classes at all. leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell that Luke was like before if I see her there. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my desk visibly. I have a bit of a despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. Wait, sorry about this, guys. I got a busy sound in my laptop. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic slashing of chalk on chalkboard and blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I noticed SHIZUNE and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. SHIZUNE's signing so fast that her hands make noises like words cutting through the air. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear that she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. SHIZUNE signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, but then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down in their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on the desk, looking exhausted. I use the opportunity to reconcile with SHIZUNE a bit, without getting roped into the student council room again. I'll use the opportunity, though I suspect the door is not closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. SHIZUNE scoffs at me first, after trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but then she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly confused, unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like SHIZUNE is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly to Misha. She must have practiced it rigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. No, or I think that was incrumptions. I can't read that. No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. SHIZUNE's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello. Hanako! I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it is only a jest. SHIZUNE stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapping nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako, the association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows this as well. What is that, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Oh, sorry, haven't seen Satao. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at SHIZUNE, who stares back at her with that usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, SHIZUNE isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. That is what happens when two people have two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in a classroom working on their festival project, and who knows where that woman is loitering at. You need to find her? You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah. I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods affectionately, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling like she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes her constantly be on her guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she has always seemed so... I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea why I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get into the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, so just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako would be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. Okay, I have to say, like I know I just said that I was like going for Lily, and I don't know, I kind of like Hanako too. I think they're both rather cool people, and I don't know. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing though, even though we are walking at the same pace. She never comes within arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me, given how size she is. There doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, and Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks a bit lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library, I was reading. So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in your own class like Shizune said, right? In her own class. Right. With the slightest of nod, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-lettered silk gloves when having to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both our minds. So you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was rather obvious after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. Must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflexible nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her own answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more, both of us confident that the discussions reach an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs of a school of fish, moving from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. The students pass it without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building, her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I'm what I call normal for her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would even have been able to walk the assignment like this. She seems to be completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all, but I guess we found her. No, this wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reached the door to Class 3-2. With Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me, I opened the door. Inside is a hive of activity. Seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students functioning over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily. She perks her head up as she breaks off, talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best she can. Sorry, who? Oh, sorry, Hisao. I have Hanako, too. Hi. She's pretty skittish, considering the number of people around. It isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a pause to assess the situation before turning to the other student once again. For the moment, Jessica asks Maria that's all I can think of pronounce it, for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. Oh god. A quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? Yeah, that's what I was thinking myself. I quickly turn around, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. That's right, Class 3-2 are specifically for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too? A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation. Sorry about that. Afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised I know him. I can't really blame her. I take it you've met? Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Frowned. I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Yeah, I wonder too. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. Well, go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right, just ask him if you have any problems. Chorusing in assent, Hanako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Hey Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the edge, half-painted kanji that's stretched on the sheet and pencil. Kenji. Huh? What? Who is it? If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder he's working almost alone. It's me, Asao from the... Right, I know that, man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitudes annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's there. I was just going to help you with the banner. Hanako and I, that is. Hello. Oh, hey, I guess that's okay. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face. His sudden fall hospitality is slightly unsettling. Alright, women, on second thought, this may not have been a great idea after all. Hanako and I gradually set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noting the several small paint tints on the ground around it. Class 3-2, noodle stall? You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside, or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So how do you want to split this? We do borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine, you do borders. He was surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako's already debating between colors to use. By the time I put brush to cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern, less like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her work. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me and whisper, conspiratorially though, "Oh God. No, why did Kenji? I don't even think about Kenji being here. This is gonna be so weird." Okay, man, why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help find Lily, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivation. I get it. It looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover. Oh my God. No, Kenji, we're not. I should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him in any case. Is that why you're here? Obviously. It sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school, a harsh world. Yes, very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back, satisfied I'm sympathetic to his cause. I'd better get down to work. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job. The two of us connect up the lines of our patterns, mine being as close a copy as I can manage of hers. With a grunt, I lever myself up from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left, finishing off a sign, as well as Lily and a couple of students talking among themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. If her scars extend even to there, just so much of her body was burned. I feel a pang of guilt about it, however, as she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment before noticing that I mean the banner. It does, I guess. Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. We finished the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done? Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Asao. Hanako, if there's any way I can thank you. It's fine. Be sitting in my room studying at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods, before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room. Yeah, just finished. He carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. See you, man. Bye. The remaining two students said their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I think I'm gonna save. Just because I can. This is kind of cool though. It's neat. I'm glad that Hanako, you know, is kind of somewhat breaking out of her shell a little bit. But I guess that's. Oh yeah, okay, I just read that. Sorry. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time? Indeed, the class plans this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stalls look nice though. She's right. It shows that a lot of work's gone into them. My, I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now, there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hasao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. Ooh, it's nighttime. This is different. The nighttime lighting really makes the gardens look quite different. Compared to the usual look of lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The, thing with SHIZUNE took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. SHIZUNE and I go back some ways. Her voice seemed slightly irritated as she remembered SHIZUNE. Obviously, I'm willing to discuss it any further. I glanced at Hanako for her views on this, for her expression is unsurprisingly evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival's over, in any case. The change of topics welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festival were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of school community, so the staff tries to make our festivals and such special occasions. And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear our grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That go a way toward explaining her well-bred speech and behavior, in any case. As we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See you, Lily, Hanako. The two both give polite nods before setting off to the woman's dorm just next to the guys. As it is to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Oh, okay, so he actually did get back to his room. I figured Kenji would, like, get to him. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy is bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. Whew. Katawa Shoujo. And alarm. My morning alarm goes off, and I flow about aimlessly for a while until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was the greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I do to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again. Why's that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowns, seemingly annoyed by a passing fault. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. I guess it's pretty early in the morning. I shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought. So, come on then. What? What? You're here to run again, right? Well, yes. So come on. I found myself suddenly grabbing and yanking onto the track. Suddenly grab and yanked. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find inviolable. Blech. It's incredibly bothersome to be easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work toward things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me and begins to pull away. This is what I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Oh my god, I don't know. This is an option? I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know, what should I do, guys? I mean, should I keep... Okay. If I take it easy, then I'm giving up. But if I go for it, what if I hurt myself? Ah! Okay, sorry, I have to move the laptop. Yeah. Oh. I need a good stretch to do this. I'm gonna say go for it. What am I doing here? Am I really just gonna fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins. Still going? Wouldn't you pant to think I'm out of shape, pant. I guess I should have actually done something like pant, but whatever. Emmy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're going to play things, I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we started playing a game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast. How the hell does she keep it? Uh-oh. It's like a string pulling on my chest. Pulling off nerves and pain. Before I can think of anything else, then, oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down across my chest, the other hitting the track and keeping me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen. How? She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. What's wrong? Nothing, just keep your breathing steady. Calm down, don't panic. Don't panic. Do you need me to get the nurse? I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. Oh no. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone like nothing happened. It was nothing? No, something happened there. I open my eyes again and glance at a very wordy Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself, oddly even and matter of fact. It makes Emmy frown. I don't think you are. She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself. Right, you're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse. Amy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Amy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Amy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point it seems to be too late for that as well. I like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have the condition in the first place. Nurse! Amy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, Sunshine. What's up? Aw, Sunshine. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was thinking. He calmly sips his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Amy's gaze to me looking in the doorway. Hisao, what brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing at his chest, and I thought I'd come get you. Oh, crap. I just skipped that. Dang. Oh, come on. Oh, I thought I could come get you and make him wait there, but he said he was okay, but then I thought you should see him anyway, and yeah, please slow down. Easy there, Amy. Calm down. Hisao, what happened? I don't know. We were running and then my chest started hurting like that time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns at the sight that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested to get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Sal. I was being careful, come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. It doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would. You just what? That is, I was racing Emmy. Emmy, is this true? Emmy fidgets, looking adorably well... Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it out loud and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand entirely. Emmy, you've got to be more sensible to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? Nice work, Hisao. We were just running, and Emmy started to pull away, so I sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back down at the both of us. So you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Well, come on, Hisao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something. I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die. So how does it feel? I don't know, nothing much, tired, but it must be just from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest, and we'll see how you feel after that. And I'm not going to object, so I lay down on the infirmary bed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantness. Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful. Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looked awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances didn't do much to cheer her up. I want to make it up to you. Again with that decisive nod. So you had to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good. I'd start with that, you don't have to, and then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face. Good. Well, we meet on the roof. On the roof? We? Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know? I see. You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you. Of course not. Great, see you there. Wow. I stay afloat somewhere between sleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. Okay, I'm gonna save, but I think I'm gonna I'm gonna make a new one. I like what I did, it's just I wonder what would happen if I did the other way, so I may visit that later. I swallow this with difficulty and then try to lie down as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. Okay guys, so I'm gonna like switch positions real fast. Sorry, it's just the fact that where it's so I don't know, I have no back support, so it kinda hurts. I hope you guys can still see me. You should. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains he drew to give me privacy. I can see a shadow shifting about in sunlight. He has opened the window in his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. Sorry I've had so much trouble today. I close my eyes, the breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away at his computer and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it, not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave? Like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was. It was just a reflex to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Ah, stupid. I have to be more careful, or I'll end up in the hospital again, or worse. That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, Sal. Oh, fine. Climb down from that bed then and let's see how you're doing. Don't. I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly. Is that all? Yep. Why does that not surprise me, Sal? Is what I was going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stopped spinning. Yeah. Good. And how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Sal. I swallowed the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him think that's right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It'd be easy to be angry with him if he said "told you so" or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that will remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There's some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly got lost. So I go out from the exit that I know works. I step up the stairs. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. The halls are quiet as the courtyard was, naturally so since everyone is in class. I knock lightly at the door of 33 and push open the door where Metal calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Metal seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Metal takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrow and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures me to run along, so I naturally do. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days I was pretty high-strung in class. Metal finishes the lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food. Everyone burst out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant was more than the remainder of the sentences buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Mikado deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gets up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally, I join the flow and grab a lunch myself. Today is different. Today I've been invited to lunch on the roof. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out into the hallway, only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannibal. I don't know what flouncing means. It's a new term for me. Okay, I'm sorry I keep moving, guys. I'm sorry. It gets really annoying, probably. I apologize. Hey, hi, Estelle. Great timing. I have super extra lunch today, as I promised. Let's go upstairs. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with a missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shuts the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall dark figure appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Eek! Hello. Is it Ren? Is her name Ren? Yikes, yeah, it is Ren. Eek, yikes, you scared me, Ren. Wait, isn't she? Yep. Hello. Noticing that Ren is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Ren has turned her gaze toward the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, struggling the coincidence off. I invited him out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess this roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges. Perhaps it is an attempt to make the rooftop look less dusty. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath my feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around their guard angle and at the cafeteria. Okay, I'm gonna save again. I'm probably gonna quit soon, guys. I just want to keep doing a little bit more. Students are strolling in. Oh yeah, I showed that too. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the center near the town center and small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of a big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about the new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it is going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had time to think how I felt about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear circulating sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Amy settles on a bench with Ren in tow, and produces one bag and two small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Miss Al, what are you waiting for? She is beckoning me to join them, making room in the already small bench. I see myself in the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Amy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Ren and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch, as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I make it myself when I can. Conversation dies off and I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Ren deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's almost a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if I'm getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted by my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. Hey, Emmy seems like that kind of person. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I barely nearly choked. Oh my god, that is horrible. I barely nearly choked my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Or, never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk to settle on the obvious question. How do you meet? Ren seems content to let Emmy answer the question. Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, got it? Get it? Ah. So I started helping Ren get ready in the mornings and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses the moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you got no arms, so putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to just start talking now. It will save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a stage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. Nice work, Katawa. You're just an asshole. It's really quite good. Amy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. Nice work, Amy. What a flourish. She reaches into her bag, with a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is. This time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision or another matter, I'm honestly not sure. So, Sal, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice. Actually, I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. But for the lunch, too. Amy grins a 1,000-watt grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Amy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will keep eating lunch all alone. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding. I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company is okay too. Emmy frowns Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends, you know, or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, suddenly I return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shows her that's an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to turn a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I borrowed into the reserved slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops out from behind it, startled from the banging that they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry Yuko, didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine, it happens a lot, I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, or after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come from it. Oh, she's there again. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. After an indiscernible amount of time spent pursuing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. Okay guys, I think I'm gonna... I don't want to quit right now. I mean, I really don't. I want to keep playing. So I think I am going to keep playing for a little while. So just, yeah, sorry. This episode is going to be quite long. With a minute of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into the bag as I walk. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room to read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. Ooh, that is a good book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I start thinking of myself as some kind of Alice too, helplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this crippled wonderland. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location, the covet way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It is like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting farther back from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad, like it has since that time in the forest with Iwanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fall asleep. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through class until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Mattel lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students are the only people around here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down on the desk. It's completely a typical behavior for him. It appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbook into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed by the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and SHIZUNE aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for SHIZUNE's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? Oh god. What do you want? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I didn't even notice Masao approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if you speak outside the classroom. Oh god. I don't know what you're going to tell me. I have a feeling it has to deal with the heart condition, but I guess we'll find out. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Mattel stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it, I'm sorry. Mateo closes his eyes in frustration. I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people here have put a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you, and every other student here, can make the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. Huh? I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it is some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand, this is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Matao appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Matao taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs the information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah. You've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? You're right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Matao's serious talk was over, and he's going back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think, in hindsight, I prefer him that way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Matao pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the class. I'm sorry, guys, that was so funny. Like, I can't handle it. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they were working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Matao does not even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near science that Matao and I left in before our chat. Near silence, sorry. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly takes the remaining class time away until finally the bell cries out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect answers for those problems by Monday. The class sighs at once, instantly regretting slacking off, but still actually aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blank as everyone rushes through their last-minute festival preparations. I step behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to her classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and naturally I don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages on my notebook. Hanako turned pages on the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish the paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and the subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leads down the hallway and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye, out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin on her hand, staring at the desk objectively. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any head. I saunter past classroom filled with students, frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not my bunch. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. It's the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows over my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji is in his room. On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her, and she skids to a stop. Yo, how? Splatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is white, as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? You are so weird at me. She really is. She is weird. She is weird. I mean, I like her, but she's odd. She's a cool character, though. Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect. You can help me arrange. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Amy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcibly. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow me down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We'll go all the way to the third floor and to the seniors hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy, had I known. So is Rem working on that mural still? Moral? That's right. She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art classroom, and you need me to help with that. Well, Ren told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Emmy flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy steps straightly toward the black back wall, digging out a tiny, crumbling piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelf in a most unorganized fashion. Some looks like they have been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club regenerations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and assorted crayons. Smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float to the still air, mixing in my nostrils to form the unmistakably scent of art. Amy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings of the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look in the top of the shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Amy gives up and just looks over the shelf longingly like a child at a toy store, puffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them, and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, flaring scorn, flesh shakes it. Just kidding. Anyway, I'll look there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort with a grudging, humph. she turns her back to me. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below, Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her weight was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a treasure hunter spoils do I realize that it wasn't necessarily height job that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do anything like jump. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Rin. I feverishly carry the hulking materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Rin is already stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though, she should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning, lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurse hadn't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kind of unhinged, so to speak. Amy giggles at that, as well as at my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes. On that, I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Ren's whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and SHIZUNE do, with them working as a single entity sometimes. It's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different from them all, different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again, as if it encompasses Ren's personality by itself, but really it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp that phrase, properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier she spent half an hour sitting on her box and staring at her pose. She giggles again in the way that makes me think that she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All the time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. Holy crap. Okay, guys, so I think I'm going to end the episode here for now. This episode has went on for a very long time. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's very fun. It's very enjoyable. I honestly couldn't stop playing it. It's very fun. I just really like it. It's, yeah. So, anyway, though, guys, I am going to end the episode here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my video. It helps me out as a small YouTuber, and I will catch all you guys later. Peace.